Wow. Okay. If I can segue really quickly and talk about what the reason why I called in. I'm sorry, all of a sudden now my throat is acting up, but that's okay. Yeah, I wanted to call in, and I wanted to sort of hear what I wanted to. Okay, you and Chronic, if you remember Hammerhand, you and Chronic, you guys made a video. I think it was, I don't know, 2 or 3 days ago. You were talking about the. You remember that unfortunate incident, that sexual assault that occurred? I think it was somewhere on the East Coast. That woman on a train.
Yeah, that was an excerpt from a podcast a little while ago.
Okay. I wanted to mention. I wanted to talk about how, for me, that sort of opened up like a philosophical conundrum, or like a I don't know what to call it, a crisis of thought. I thought to myself, like, for example, in certain countries, and maybe soon to come to the U.S., but definitely like in Europe, like in France, the women there, they're starting to complain, especially at night. They say that they're starting to feel uncomfortable. They're basically they're afraid to walk the streets at night. So
Fuck
they
'em.
say.
Fuck them.
And so it's a sort of leading into what? Okay, like, I mean, you said in that excerpt, and so did Chronic, and I would third that opinion. I don't agree with sexual assault. You said you don't.
No,
you
not
don't
at
do
all.
that. I don't do that. At the same time, what do you do when it's like you have these women, and of course you could say as a class, maybe not as an individual, but as a class of people, they tend to vote for policies that encourage this mass immigration. They literally vote to bring in the very people that would turn around and then assault them or victimize them. And it's like, you had me thinking, like, I don't consider myself a small man. I'm a big guy, and you're a big guy. You're like 6'6". What do you do? I'm a big guy. If I'm walking down the street and I see a couple of guys harassing, or God forbid attacking or assaulting a woman, I don't, given all my red pill knowledge now, I don't know that I would be willing to get involved physically where I could get myself hurt.
What I would say right off the bat is to go and look over, I'd say the last 6 years. Go look up all of the men that have been killed coming to the rescue of women that have created the problem that man killed.
Yes,
go
right.
Do you want to be that?
Right. No, I understand.
Turn right around, and they will tell you. There was a story here not too long ago where the female got pissed off at a couple of Anglos because they walked out of a train car, and she started getting harassed by a diversity hire that was brought into the country. And she wasn't mad at the motherfucker that was harassing.
Yes,
she was mad at the fucking guys that walked out.
Yes, I remember that story very well. In fact, what's his name? Sandman made a video about that. And that woman later went on television, and she attempted to dox those men, and she was making all sorts of assertions where she was saying, like, oh, I don't even blame the actual immigrant that attacked me. I blame the two men, and she specifically pointed out how they were white. She specifically pointed out how they were middle-aged. She specifically pointed out how they were middle class, and it's like. And Sandman pointed out, like, well, how did that woman know that they were middle class? Did they have a sign on their chest saying how much that they earned?
Because she made an instant judgment based on their appearance, and that's the problem with much of these women.
That's exactly correct. She made an instant fucking judgment based on their appearance.
Okay, right. So I guess my question, my whatever philosophical conundrum, or my existential crisis. My question to you guys, and this is for anyone in the chat, discuss this as well. Is it time to literally abandon what we could call our own women, white Western women, or just let's say Western women in general? If you see a woman getting attacked, I mean, because I think, I don't know, but I think in the back of I imagine in the back of the minds of all these Western women, they're actually very afraid of that idea. They're afraid of the idea that.
Well,
if something
those women
down,
that are afraid of that have an inkling of thought outside of a leftist bubble, they better get their asses in gear. They have already lost the productive man in this country. He's gone.
Right.
He's gone. He's gone. It's clear.
See, basically, you mentioned the philosophical conundrum. Now, considering my first name is actually Socrates.
That's a great first name, man.
Yeah, hard to live up to. But, see, they've really brought it on themselves because they spent the last, 10 years, especially, telling the whole world through every strata of mainstream media how toxic and evil the traditional pale-skinned straight man is, and men are this, men are that. So what we've started to do for the past 10 years is say, okay, well, fuck you then. I'm doing my own thing. I'm going my own way. And so they're losing the guys that are actually white knighting and running to the damsel in distress. So now they're they're forced to realise, okay, you've been reminding everyone how strong and empowered you are. Okay, tag, you're it.
Yeah, so go do it.
Right, so if I saw a woman being raped or whatever in front of me, I would literally walk the other way. Now, I'm not a small guy.
So then we reach like a, is that where we are? We are. Is that, I mean...
Hey, Cowboy, let me present you with a situation here. Now, Riff, you're going to know this one well. Remember when Australia was on fire?
Yeah.
Okay. You remember what the fucking cunt from the Green Party came out and said on national television?
Wasn't she saying that this was causing an uptick in like domestic violence and men were beating on their women?
Exactamundo. Yeah. Right. Exactamundo. You came out and you blamed the men that were dying in those fucking massive wildfires. Yes. Yeah. So go fuck yourself.
Right.
That's all I got to say. Look, if it was my mother or if it was my daughter or somebody very close to me, it would be a different story. If it's some random Jane on the street, I'm sorry about your luck, darling. You voted for it.
Right.
See, and this is the problem. It literally turns into, it's almost like we have to become cold-hearted. And if you actually see them getting victimized now, yeah, I mean, I'm sorry to say it. You know, maybe it's just because I'm getting older. When I was younger, I remember, I had this idea that, like, I would literally run into a fight and defend a woman. And now it's like,
nope.
You just, I mean, maybe, pull out your phone and call the police, but do not risk your physical. No. I'm not willing to risk myself anymore physically.
Because then you're going to be called upon as a witness on the stand, and you don't want that either.
Yeah, you don't want that.
See, and that's another problem. And that's another
get locked into some bullshit where they're going to try to put the fucking finger on you for not doing something.
There you go. See, and so, I mean, like, I'm sorry, but I'm getting to the point where, like, I don't feel like I'm going crazy. I think I'm just being rational. Just what Riff just said, just walk away. Literally just walk away.
It is fucking crazy. It is crazy, and it is irrational, but that's where we're at.
And the thing is...
And it's like, if... Go ahead, Riff.
The thing is, guys, the thing that we're missing out on is even the so-called wonderful, not all women are like that kind of women, they're equally guilty because they've spent the last 50 years passively letting this shit come in.
I agree. That's what I said. You need to get these bitches together, and they need to get off their humps and start doing something, because the very vocal few that are molding and shaping these laws and public structure are boxing everybody else out of the provide and the protect provisions.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, again, I was listening to you and Chronic, and you guys were kind of analyzing the whole situation. And there's other angles too, like let's say I'm a white male. What if the person attacking was a Muslim or a Middle Eastern person? You could get in trouble. They could say it's a hate crime or something. And so it just gets to the point now where it's like, again, 10 years ago, I would defend a woman possibly to the death. Now, and I'm listening to Riff, and you guys are just making a stronger and stronger argument. Just walk away. It's like it's not even worth the trouble.
Although I would defend an old person.
Yes, the elderly, I believe I would.
Yeah, the perpetrator would be bleeding on the ground. Oh, yeah.
Yes, I believe for the elderly, that's a different circumstance for me entirely.
Yeah.
The elderly, even if they're liberals, aren't driving this fucking hysterical response. They're not driving this. Mayor Mike, I see you in the backstage, brother. I'll get to you in a minute.
All right.
Well, anyway, I'll leave it at that. I'll sign out. Hammerhand, it was a pleasure. But again, I just wanted to say, like, it's, you got me thinking. You got me thinking to the point where it's like, again, if I were walking down the street and I saw a woman being assailed by a group of guys, even if it was just one or two guys, I don't think I'd be willing to stick my neck out anymore, because it's like on every single side, you're going to be screwed. This woman is voting to bring in all these immigrants or these very people that will attack her. I can get in trouble if I bust out a camera and film it. If I call the police, I can get in trouble. If the person is an ethnic minority, I can get in trouble. It's
That's
just,
correct.
I don't even know what to say. I'm feeling flabbergasted. So,
Well,
and that video you made just kind of pointed that out. So I'll yeah.
Well, much appreciated.
All right, thank you, Hammerhand.
Thanks for dropping in,
Okay,
man.
cowboy.
Have a good day, sir. And Riff, it's a pleasure to see you again as well. Bye now.
Yeah, you too, brother. Take care.
Peace. All right, Mayor Mike, I'm going to get you in here. What's up, Mayor Mike?